Welcome to Personality Speaking, where the tea is always hot. My show is dedicated to helping you build healthier, stronger relationships through the understanding of the personalities. This show airs every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In case you don't know me, my name is Karen Ward. I'm an advanced certified personality trainer. I'm a personality coach and the author of the book, Couple for Life Overcoming Personality Differences in Marriage. This show focuses on four personality styles that was developed by the world renowned and late Florence Littauer. This personality trait theory, categorizes our personalities into four categories: the popular sanguine, the powerful choleric, the perfect melancholy, and the peaceful phlegmatic. We're going to dig deep into those personality styles as this show airs. Now, if you want to know more about the personalities, you can go to my website, beyond2llc.com. That's BEYONDTWOLLC.com. Also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Also, check your notification bell so you can get the upcoming shows or notification when the upcoming shows will air. In addition to that, would you also comment and ask your questions as we go along this segment? And I'll be happy to feature some of your comments and answer your questions. Tonight is a deep dive into the one particular personality style. It's an extroverted personality style called the popular sanguine. We're going to crack the code on the popular sanguine and give you more information about it. So, if you are living with hey, Geneva, if you are living with a fun-loving personality that never really takes anything or any situation too seriously, if the person is the life of the party, you'll want to join this live tonight. We're going to crack the code on the popular sanguine. Yes, you hear people call it sanguine, but it's sanguine. Sanguine means red blood coursing through your veins, and that kind of describes that particular personality style. So, what I want to do, and Geneva, by the way, is a sanguine. And Geneva, if at any point you want to pop on and have something to say, let me know. I'll send you the link in a private chat, and you can join me and give us your feedback on you as a sanguine. And also, I would love it if Frank is around. He can pop on and tell us how it is to live with the sanguine. I wish my husband could be here to do that. Woo! I'm sure he would have a mouthful. All right, so let's get started. We have a lot to cover. I'm talking about the popular sanguine tonight. I did a little slideshow for you so you can kind of get a feel for it. The popular sanguine's basic desire, because all four personalities have basic desires. The sanguine's basic desire is to have fun. That's their desire. So everything that, and I am a popular sanguine, that's my primary personality style. Everything we do is centered around fun. My husband and I, when we bought this house, I was thinking, wow, we have a deck and a swimming pool. We're going to have some fun. We're going to entertain. We're going to have folks over all the time. And we did, and we do still do that. So that's our basic desire. If we get a job, we want the job to be fun. If we are working in any kind of project or on a program, we want it to be fun. We're going to insert the fun in everything we do because it is our basic desire is to live our best lives. All right. We also control people by our charm. We can be very charming. You know, we're always giving people compliments and looking at the best in a person and always pumping them up and making them feel good about themselves. So those are our basic desires and how we control other people. Now, we're going to talk about the emotional needs, right? Our emotional needs are attention, affection, acceptance, and approval. We need attention, you guys. That's why we do jobs like public speakers or radio show hosts or podcast hosts. We'll do stuff like that, but we also would do jobs like salespeople because we want all the attention on us. We want to be able to draw people to us. But the thing I always say about a sanguine, you typically hear a sanguine long before you see a sanguine. And that I'm guilty of. People tell me all the time that you can hear me a block away. We're also very affectionate. We are huggers. When you see us, we will hug you. Now, in the pandemic, you guys, I am such a hugger. My heart was broken that I couldn't hug everybody that I ran into. Like I had to give you an elbow. It really broke my heart to do that, or a fist pump. I don't want to do that. I want to hug you. I'm a hugger and I'm a kisser. I'm that kind of person. So I know all of my fellow sanguines suffered during the pandemic because we couldn't have the kind of closeness that we desire. All right. We also need acceptance. I always say that we have a high need to be liked. We need people to like us. We need people to want to be in our presence and want to spend time with us, to visit us. And we need you to accept us just the way we are. And we know that we're a big personality and that we are a lot to swallow. But we need you to accept us because we accept you the way you are. So we want you to accept us the way we are. And we need approval. We need that. We need you to pat us on the back and make us feel good. And we seek that out a lot. And unfortunately, that could be a positive or a negative. But as we get to the weaknesses, maybe we'll talk a little bit about how approval, how any of these, the attention, the affection, the acceptance, the approval, any of these things can be weaknesses. So we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. All right. So some of the ways that you can tell you're dealing with the sanguine personality or a fun-loving personality. We're loud, like I said. You can hear us long before you see us. And I'm a professional speaker. And when I go to different places, some of the times I don't need a microphone because I'm so loud, people can hear me in the back of a room. Now, my audiences have gotten a lot bigger, so now I use a microphone. But before, and the other reason why we use a microphone is because sometimes the host is recording the event, and so it sounds better on a microphone. But I'm super loud all the time, and I'm always being asked to lower my voice. Can you lower your voice? It's so funny. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was listening to my podcast, and I called her up while she was listening to it, and I could hear my loud voice in the background. It's like, who are you listening to? She said, you. The other thing is that we're very open. Like we share so much information about ourselves. We share information about other people too, but we are open books. Like anything you want to know about us, we share that with you. And we're not afraid to do that. We're very outgoing. So we'll talk to any and everybody. I go in the store. Hi, hello, how are you? I remember the few times I could get my husband to walk on the track with me. I was walking on the track and the track was like a figure 8. And as I was walking the track, I would say hi to people. Hi, good morning, hi. Because it's like 6:00 in the morning, right? Good morning, hello. And as we went around the track for the second time, you would see some of those same exact people. And my husband would say, stop saying hello. You said hello to those same people. Because that's who I am, bubbly, outgoing. And I know, Geneva, you're the same way. Bubbly, outgoing, very friendly. We make friends everywhere we go. We're also, another way you can tell us is our clothes are normally bright. Like we normally wear bright colors. I remember I went through this whole season of orange. Everything was orange. I had an orange trench coat. I had orange dress, orange shoes, orange hat, orange everything. Everything was orange. But you can see that even my slide presentation is yellow because yellow is indicative of a popular sanguine. We are sunshine in a bottle. We're just sunshiny. Also, we are fashionable. Typically, you see us and we're very fashionable. We're dressed to the nines and we are fashionable. I said we wear bright clothing, but we like to dress. We like to look good all the time. Everywhere we go, we like to look good. Oh, definitely Prince Geneva, love a good print. But we are really like our clothes have make a statement wherever we go. And you find sanguines will be in the fashion environment too. And it's funny because I watch Project Runway. I love that show. That's one of the shows I love. But any kind of fashion show that comes on television, I like watching it because I love the upcoming fashions and some of the wildest prints, some of the wildest people, designers have bright prints and they're all over the place, or their clothes are just futuristic or weird. Yeah, they're probably sanguines. And they, you can see it in their personality. But we also like a lot of jewelry. We're very flashy in our jewelry. You'll see sanguines walking around with, watches with diamond benzels around them. Big jewelry. You see sanguines with big diamonds. If you guys watch, if any of you watch The Housewives of Atlanta, Portia used to be Williams. I think her last name is Gubadia now. She has a diamond ring that's big as your head. It's like, she's a sanguine, but everything about her is sanguine to the point where, we'll talk about some of the weaknesses of a sanguine, but she's flighty like a sanguine too. Um, thank you. Omiana has a comment here that is pretty cool. She says, and I don't think you can see it. Oh, because of my slide presentation, you can't see it. Neutral colors, something, right? Um, but also, we have, even if we can't wear, we have to wear, let's say we have to wear something all black. We'll have, like me, I have blonde hair. Like we'll do something different. You'll see people walking around with blue hair and pink hair and stuff like that. We're going to do something that's flashy and different. All right, so let's talk about the popular sanguine, and we're going to talk about them as a parent. We're going to talk about them at work, and we're going to talk about them as a friend, right? The popular sanguine as a parent. Everything is about fun. Remember, I said that's our basic desire is to have fun. Well, we think everybody wants to have fun. And we think everybody wants to tell jokes. And we think everybody wants to come to a party. That's just who we are. And so as a parent, we always want our environment to be fun. As I said before, when my husband and I bought this house, we bought this house because we have two decks, an upper deck and a lower deck, and we have a swimming pool. We had a tree house. And so we were looking for how can we have a fun home environment for our kids. Now, did we have kids that wanted fun all the time? Not necessarily. Our oldest son was a choleric sanguine. He was about business, right? Our oldest daughter is a melancholy choleric. She is very serious minded. She would stay in her room and read 3 books at a time, which I didn't understand as a parent. Like, why are you in your room studying when you could be having fun? I don't get it. I really did not understand that as a parent, as a sanguine parent. But I remember asking her, she was reading a book, and I said, I thought you were reading another book. And she's, Mom, I'm reading 3 books. Well, excuse me. And I'm thinking, 3 books? Wow, you're reading a book and that's fun to you? It's amazing how we see things, right? But we're also usually liked by our children's friends. Like our children's friends love us to this day. Some of them still call me Ma. When I see them, hey, Ma, hi, Ma, to this day. Even when they were little kids, they were calling me Ma or, Miss Karen or whatever. But my children, my adult children, um, their friends still call me mom. They call me mom when even if they just met me, they call me mom or ma Karen. But we are really liked by our kids' friends. We can also see humor in the roughest times, right? And we help our children, even if they're going through a difficult time, see the humor in a situation. So if something's happening at school, or as I said, I have adult children on the job, we can try to make light of it, to make our children feel good at home. The interesting thing is, because am a primary sanguine and my husband is a secondary sanguine. As a parent, he was very sanguine too. And unfortunately, it forced me in the role of a choleric, where I had to be the disciplinarian. I didn't want to be, but we couldn't both be having fun and the kids have no discipline. So that was really kind of challenging as two sanguine parents in a household. Whew, the kids probably, to some degree, they liked it. I can tell you that raising a melancholy daughter, she did not understand why we always had to have parties. Like we were always having something. And if we had a party on a Saturday, it was a party Saturday and Sunday, because sanguines like fun, we love food, and we love fellowship. And so we always had a lot of those things happening. And if you came over to a party on a Saturday, we had so much food left over that we said, come back the next day on Sunday for part two. Everybody knew we had a part two every time. And it's funny because I have a melancholy friend, and she had people over her house on one day, and the next day it was not everybody come over. Now she may have had a couple of people that came over, but it's not the kind of thing that she would have a whole bunch of people 2 days in a row. It was probably more than she could deal with for one day. Actually, now that I think about it, she has a smartwatch. And her smartwatch, she kept looking at it. And I said, why are you looking at your watch? And she said, my watch is telling me I'm being overstimulated. Of course, a melancholy's watch would tell them they're being overstimulated. Sanguines, we are the overstimulators. And we don't understand being overstimulated because we're always overstimulated. It's okay with us. Anyway, so that is us as parents, right? In the workplace, again, it's all about fun. We want you to enjoy your day. We want you to come to work and enjoy being at work. We are ideas people. Like we come up with all the ideas. Let's do X, Y, Z. The only problem with that, I'm sorry, I have something in my eye. The only problem with that is we have poor follow through as a sanguine. Like we come up with the ideas, but we don't want to execute the ideas. We want you to do that. But we have a whole bunch of great ideas. I apologize. I have something in my eye. Also, we are very energetic. We're very bubbly, energetic, enthusiastic. And that could be wonderful, but it also could be too much in the workplace. As I said before, we're loud, so we're loud in the workplace. And sometimes people have to remind us we're in the workplace. And so for us to calm down and not be so loud. So it is what it is. We love to rally the troops. If there's a project that needs to be done, we're the people, we can get people on board to do it. We make the project sound exciting, as if you want to be a part of it. We pump you up and make you realize that it's going to, when it ends well, that we're all going to get the glory. And so people want to join our team because we look like we're having the most fun out of everyone else. So that's the great thing about the sanguine at work. All right. As a friend, we make friends easily. Like I remember I was talking to a girlfriend of mine recently, and we've been friends probably about 6 years or so, maybe longer than that. That's the thing about a sanguine, we're forgetful, and I don't really have a good concept of time. That's why I'm so happy that when I do these lives, there's a clock on here. Otherwise, I would be speaking until next week. But anyway, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about how we met, and we met couponing. I was in the store doing a coupon deal, and for people who coupon, you know what a coupon deal is. And I had my deal written down, and I was getting the products and making sure I was matching up the coupons and making sure it was for the right sizes. And this girl came in and she said, "Do you know this deal?" And she started telling me about another deal that was going on in the same store. And I said, "No." And so she said, "Do you have the coupons?" And I said, "No." She said, "Well, I do." So she gave me the deal, she gave me the coupons, and then she was like, you know, "Have you been couponing long?" And I said, "No, I haven't." I said, "My brother taught me how to coupon." And so we struck up a friendship in the store, and we were coupon buddies for a long time, and now we're just buddies. We're good friends. So we meet friends easily, and we meet friends everywhere we go. I met a friend in the OBGYN office. And her and I are still friends to this day. So it's crazy how I meet people everywhere. All right. We seem exciting as a friend. So a lot of the other personalities live vicariously through us because we're bold and we try things, and we love to enjoy our lives, and so we seem exciting to other people. And we're envied by some people. Some people are like, "Wow, she is having the time of her life. I want to be living a life like that. I want to have fun like that." So it's really pretty cool. And we don't hold grudges. Like, our friends can do stuff to us, and if it's not detrimental, we get over it really easily. We may get mad, we'll lash out in anger, we'll tell you how we feel about it, but we really get over it, and we don't hold grudges. Now, my secondary personality style holds grudges. We'll talk about them when we talk about the choleric personality later down the line. But my sanguine does not hold grudges. We love for people to be happy. We love for you to be excited. We love for you to, enjoy life. We want to have fun around you. So we will just get over whatever it is that hurts our feelings in the moment. All right. So let's talk more about the sanguine strengths and weaknesses. The left-hand column are the strengths, and the right are the weaknesses. The strengths are we have a great sense of humor. Like, we're always joking, we're always laughing. You know, it's funny, whenever anybody asks me if I want to go to a movie, I'm always picking a comedy. Like, I love comedy. I love action movies too, which is also a sanguine thing. Like, we like sci-fi because it's futuristic. We like action movies because it's exciting. But we love comedies because we love to laugh, and we love jokes, and we love telling jokes. My husband and I, the funny thing, he's gotten on TikTok. Why this man found TikTok, I don't know, but he sends me TikToks 100 times a day. Now, the funny thing is this. My daughter told me today she was blocking me from her social media because I keep sending her TikToks and Instagram funny memes. And she's like, "I really have had enough of you." And my son was like, "Can somebody get her off of social media?" But I love funny jokes, and I love funny TikToks. Oh, see, there's my daughter. She just posted, "Yes, I'm blocked." Blocked. How dare you block your mother? It's not nice. But I love funny things, and I'm always sending her dog TikToks because she has the cutest little puppy, and they have this one person who has a puppy um, TikTok that is hilarious. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop sending you, Brianna. I'm gonna stop sending you some TikToks today. All right. We also, as I said before, we make friends really easily. But we're also very sincere. Like, if we say something to hurt your feelings, it's never intentional. We're normally not thinking about what we're saying because we have no filter from our brains to our mouths. So we're really sincere. We're sincere people. We mean the best. We have the best intentions towards people. We love living in the present. Like why do we care about tomorrow? Let's live our best life today. Our motto is tomorrow's not promised. Let's live today as if there is no tomorrow. We will apologize. We might hurt your feelings, but we will quickly say, I'm sorry. Like I told my daughter, I'm sorry that I keep sending you this TikToks, but they're so much fun. But we will apologize if we hurt your feelings. If you tell us we hurt your feelings, we will apologize quickly because we just don't want to hurt you. We want you to be happy. We are cheerful and bubbly. Like we're laughing all the time. We smile all the time. We smile at strangers. I remember I was going to New York and my oldest daughter was treating me as if I had never left home a day of my life. But I was coming off the train and she had ordered me a driver to pick me up from the train to get me to my speaking engagement. And she said, "Ma, when you come through the station, stop smiling at people. Don't say hello to people. Just walk through, go straight to where I tell you to go." You're not at home. You can't go through New York just speaking to strangers. It's not good. So, she knew that that's my bubbly personality and that I would end up probably in a world of trouble. All right. We're not easily bored. We can find fun in everything. Like it doesn't take a whole lot for us to have fun. We create our own fun. So we're not easily bored. And then finally, we're curious. We ask a lot of questions. And I know some people say, why do you ask so many questions? Because I'm interested in you. I'm interested in what you do and how you do it. I'm interested in a lot of different things. And so I'm very curious and I will ask you a lot of questions. So if you have a secret life, you might not want to sit next to me at a party or a place because I will ask you what you do, how you do it, how's that work. And if you are a person who is dishonest, you might not want to sit next to me either because I can easily read people. And I can tell when you're not being honest. And I will ask you questions that will uncover your dishonesty. I'm forewarning you, it's who I am as a sanguine personality style. All right, so let's talk about some of our weaknesses. And listen, all the strengths are not on here, all the weaknesses aren't on here. But some of the weaknesses are we talk too much. Hey, that's why we're curious, not nosy, Geneva. That's right. But if people thought we were nosy, it would be on the other side, right? But anyway, people say we talk too much. I remember my way back when I was young, a family member told me I talk too much, I talk too loud, and I was country. Yep, talk too loud, talk too much, and country. And they associated me being country because I talk too loud. Um, we're also considered forgetful, which we are. Like we forget things all the time. I remember I had invited somebody to listen in on my podcast, and I called to make sure they were going to be on there, and they were like, "Oh, I forgot I'm doing X, Y, Z." They were a sanguine, and so sanguines will forget that they made commitments to you, and they don't follow through. And I'm a sanguine, and I can get mad about that, but I usually get over it pretty quickly. We also exaggerate. We tell stories, and by the time we finish telling the story, stuff gets added that's not true at all. We just make it sound interesting. A bigger than life situation. Um, and we kind of once we told that story that way, we kind of really believe that that's how the story went. But it's really an exaggeration, or as some people might say, it's a lie. We could be too cheerful. Now, my daughter that's on this podcast will tell you that we are too cheerful. Um, when I get in the car with her, she's like, Mom, please don't bring all of that energy. I'm not awake. I'm not ready to talk. Stop talking to me. And that's the same place, the same way if you're in the workplace. Like I could come in the morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. Hi. How was your weekend? Not everybody's ready for that, even though they're in the workplace. Some people take time to warm up. They have to come in, have their coffee, turn on their computer, look at their messages before they can have a conversation. So sometimes we're just way too cheerful. Now, it's not bad if you are a talk show host or a radio show host and you have to be up early in the morning. I mean, who wants a boring talk show host or radio host? Yeah, you want that. They say that we complain a lot. We just point things out. I don't know that we're complainers. Would you say that, Geneva? But they say that we complain. We are also, we can be very naive and get taken in very easily. Um, because we see the best in people, so that's the positive spin of that, is we tend to see the best in people. And so we like to see that people won't hurt us. But that's not always true. That sometimes we could be seeing the best in an individual so much that we don't recognize that this individual is not out for our good. Okay. And we get mad quick. Woo! Say the wrong thing, mad. Just like that. But we don't just get mad, we explode. Like we'll lay you out quick, fast, and in a hurry. We get over it just as quickly, but we get so mad, like, oh, can't believe you said X, Y, or Z, right? And sometimes we have a tendency not to grow up. We have a tendency not to grow up. That means everything is funny. We take nothing seriously. Like, we're always clowning and acting silly. We need to grow up sometimes. Geneva says she set a phone alarm for my show so that she won't forget. Girl, so do I. And I told you, I'm thankful that this thing has a clock on it because I wouldn't even know how to start. It has a countdown that allows me to count down, but there are things that I would just forget to do. I might forget to print my show notes or forget to send a link out or the questions out until the last minute. It's just craziness, the things I forget to do that, I thank God that I have other people that helps me in those areas. All right. So this is one of the things that, some of the things I want you to take away from the show. These are some tips to kind of help you overcome some of your personality challenges, right? So practicing mindfulness may seem easy to some people, right? But we have to really practice being in the moment. We have to practice being self-aware. We have to practice paying attention. We have to practice paying attention to our own thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. Because what happens is sometimes because we are in the moment, we just say what we say what we think and how we feel, and we just act in the moment that we don't realize the impact that that has on other people. So we really need to be mindful of our environment. For instance, I'm loud. I know I'm loud. But when I'm in church, should I be loud? No. If I'm in a conference, should I be loud? No. If I'm at somebody's home, should I be loud? No. I should really be mindful of how I'm communicating, how loud I am. I should be paying attention to when I'm taking over a conversation, when another person needs to be able to talk. I should be mindful of that and not be the person that has to um, fill the entire room. Because sometimes our personalities are so big that we fill an entire room. We need to let other people shine. We need to let other people be able to communicate. I always say, when we're talking, we already know what we have to say, right? But if we allow somebody else to talk, we can learn something. We can learn something different. We can get a different perspective. We can understand a person better. Um, we can, when we are practicing mindfulness, we can also recognize when we're getting distracted. I remember my old manager called me sidetrack as a nickname, because I was always sidetracked. Like if I'm working on a project and somebody says something to me about another project, I'm in their project and talking to them about their project and how to fix their project. I totally forget that I have my own thing to do. Yes. Geneva says, I'm at an age where I'm able to tone down my weaknesses. Woo, yes. And sometimes age, Geneva, does matter. And sometimes it's about maturity, right? Because there are a lot of people who are older who act the exact same way as they did when they were younger. But as you mature, which you have and I have done and I continue to do, you start to really say, how am I showing up in the world? How am I impacting someone else? Like, it definitely requires maturity. It definitely requires that you are looking at other people um, first and not really just considering yourself. And as a sanguine, we tend to be a bit on the self-centered side. It's about us and what we think and how we feel. The other thing, it also allows, practicing mindfulness also allows us to not act so impulsively, because we typically will jump into things very easily. We will jump into things and not really think about the impact to us or others. And it allows us to redirect our focus and make conscious choices, not just erratic choices or spur of the moment choices or choices that weren't well thought out. But it allows us to make more conscious choices. So I like the idea of practicing mindfulness. The next thing is to set goals for our lives, because we don't want to. If you ask a sanguine, what's your 1 year goal, your 5 year goal, your 10 year goal? What? We ain't thinking that far ahead. And there's my husband and I are about to make some life choices, right? Some big decisions over the next year and a half. When I tell you I feel like a fish out of water, the only thing that's helping me is that I'm starting to set clear goals for how I want to accomplish the things that I need to get done. And one of the ways I'm doing that is I'm establishing specific, achievable goals, and I'm breaking them down into small chunks, just like this is saying. They're specific. I have to do these things over the next year, and I'm taking one specific one. I'm breaking it down to achievable and smaller goals, or achievable and smaller tasks, to make sure that I can get those things done. That helps me to stay focused, as this is saying, and it motivates me and prevents me from procrastinating, because sanguines are procrastinators, because we don't want to do stuff in a structured, ordered way. So it really does help us, because we are big procrastinators. If something is arduous, we don't want to do it. If something is labor intensive, we don't want to do it. If it is fun, we want to do it. So if we break it down into smaller tasks, we can make those things more interesting and fun and making sure that we can get it done. And then we can feel accomplished at the end of it. Because I'm going to tell you, when I do that, I absolutely feel accomplished. I absolutely feel accomplished. The other thing is that we need to create structure and organization. I'm rolling my eyes as a sanguine because we hate structure and we hate organization. We don't mind you creating structure and organization, but we don't want to do it. But the way we do that is to develop routines and to develop systems to help us stay organized. So some of the routines you said, Geneva, how you set your phone alarm to make sure that you don't forget to come on the show in the evenings, right? Some of the ways you can do that is to subscribe to the show, to hit the notification bell so that you would get a notification that the show is coming. That's setting up a routine. That's setting up a system that would allow you to be successful. For me, every day, every morning, I wake up at 6 a.m. I get up at 6 a.m. so I can take my morning walk. After I take during my morning walk and after, I have quiet time where I spend time with my higher power, who I call God, Jesus Christ. I spend time listening, talking, being grateful. Then I do journal writing. So I write down what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my husband, my children, my grandchildren, my friends, my family, the people who come to this show and listen for how to build healthier, stronger relationships. I'm thankful for health. I'm thankful for prosperity. I'm thankful for wisdom. I'm thankful for so many things. So I put those in my gratitude journal. And then I sometimes write a letter to God about what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. So I do that every morning. I have a system in place that my alarm goes off and wakes me up. So I can get up in the morning and start my morning. Then I write down what I'm going to eat all day. So I have a meal plan and then I pack my meal plan. So I have a whole strategy of how I live my life now because I developed some routines and some systems to help me to stay organized. It is not easy, but because of it, there's some things that have really changed in my life. Those of you who know me, over the last 9 months, I've lost 75 pounds. But also, I created this show and I have developed content. I am speaking at events. I am doing so much in my life right now that is just so fruitful. So it's so important as a sanguine that we just don't always fly by the seat of our pants. And Geneva saying it's so true. She said, but I like to be spontaneous too. I do too. And I'm still spontaneous. There are things that I have to do that I do. And like you said, you schedule free time. But there are things that I just pop up and do just because I want to. I picked up some new coaching clients. And so because I have a more structured life, I'm able to fit those things in and still enjoy my life and still say I'm going to come to my friend's house and hang out and do X, Y, Z. Because I love spontaneity. Also, you can use calendars and planners or digital tools to help you manage your time. We already talked about how we use our phones. I have calendars. I have my phone. I have Alexa. I have Google Home. I have both of those in my house. I let them help me stay structured. Those are their planners and calendar tools. I ask them for suggestions. So there are a lot of things that you can use. If you have smartwatches, those are tools that you can use to help you stay organized and create structure in your life. What else? It'll let you help you prioritize your tasks. Um, oh, thank you, daughter. My daughter said I'm a hot mama, literally. Thank you. I am your mama, and thank you for saying I'm hot. Also, it allows you to keep track of important dates so that you don't let things slide by the wayside or slip by the wayside. I am more organized than I have been in years. Those are some of the things that I've done to change my life and how I do things. As a sanguine, I am a fun loving person. I still have fun. I am a person that enjoys being around people. I'm a person that wants to run a business, and running a business is hard for a sanguine, especially if you run the business by yourself. It's very difficult because you want to be spontaneous. You don't want to do these kinds of things like develop content. You don't want to post on a regular basis. You don't want to have to update your website. Those are some of the things that are not fun for me. Developing content is fun for me. I do enjoy that. But doing those things on a timeline is difficult for a sanguine person. So having structure is not innate to us. It is something we have to do in order to be, in order to, in, and for us to be successful in the things that we're trying to accomplish in life. So yeah, sanguines are fun loving, and they're, we're not always the easiest people to live with because we're disorganized, because we're all over the place, because we're forgetful, because we're flighty, um, because we leave keys indoors. It's so funny today, right before this segment um, went live, my Ring doorbell went off. And I was sitting here and I was thinking, who is it? And I looked and it's some guy at my door. What really bothered me is that he tried my door, he tried my screen door, then he tried my door. He didn't even ring the doorbell. And I thought to myself, if it was one of those flighty times when I had left my keys in the door, the man could have opened the door and walked right in. So we have to be more mindful of what is happening around us. We have to be more mindful of the things that we do so that people can't harm us in a way. So that's why it's so important for us to practice some of these tips to overcome some of our challenges. All right, you guys, do you have any questions for me? Because we have about 10 minutes. So if you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the chat. Geneva, if you want to pop on, let me know, and I'll send you a link to the show so that you can pop on and talk to us. Let's see here. If you have any questions, trying to see how I do this here. If you have any questions at all, yeah. Let's see here. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to play around with this. But the sanguine personality is a fun-loving, exciting personality. We love life. We love living life to the fullest. I'm in the later part of my life. I'm literally going to be 62 years old next week. You want to send me some birthday love? My birthday is June 29th. And so because I'm 62, I'm looking at what's going to happen in the next phase of our lives, right? And what we're going to do next. And so I'm looking for an adventure. I'm looking to enjoy our lives, not just here, but abroad. I love traveling. I love being around people. I love meeting new people. I love new cultures. I just love life, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Um, And I think as a sanguine, um, some of the things that we can do to really be better people is just knowing how we show up for others. If we make a commitment, making sure we put it on our calendar so we don't forget the commitment, so that we can show up for our friends and family members or our coworkers. If we have a project to do in a workplace, making sure that we follow through because we struggle with follow through. Um, that we don't exaggerate, that we tell the truth, but we tell the truth in love, that we really take time not to hurt people's feelings, right? That we think about what we're going to say before we actually say that thing so that we don't hurt people. Um, that we allow other people to share their hearts and that we don't monopolize the conversation and that everything is not about us. There are things that we can do to really show up for other people. Um, so, what are some of the techniques to support a sanguine personalities? Um, supporting them when they have detailed task responsibilities. Woo-hoo-hoo. And so, this is the thing about a sanguine. Like I was saying earlier, some of the things. Thank you, Shadana, for asking that question. Um, because we don't like monotonous work, and sometimes our tasks require that, the more manageable the tasks are, the better. So when we break them down into smaller tasks, instead of seeing the, we're big picture thinkers, so we like to see things in a big picture. But in order for us to execute, we need them in small, manageable tasks. So that needs to be something, and they need to be able to take those small, manageable tasks and be able to report on them regularly. So, unfortunately, we don't like that as a sanguine, but it's necessary for us to have structure in order for us to achieve the work that needs to be done. So, we need a project plan. We need to have dates and times associated so that we know what the goal is so that we can meet the goal. So, that's kind of some of the techniques that we need. And you need to have conversations with the sanguine. Now, sanguines, if you say to them, how do you think you can get this done in the next 2 weeks? We can't see that. We can see that it can be done, but we can't see how we're going to get it done. Sometimes we need to work that plan out with our project lead or manager to make sure we know what the tasks are and when they are due. So hopefully that helped you a little bit. Thank you, lovely Lee, for joining us. Um, oh, great, Geneva. Geneva says having having a great assistant helps. It really does. It really, if you are a sanguine leader, one thing about sanguines, we know how to get the right people on board to help us. Like for instance, I have a friend who offered to do all of my videos for the upcoming shows, and that really was very helpful to me. It was really helpful to me that she's doing some of the tasks that is just not easy or simple for me to do. I am more of a person that will be I can do the training, I can do the speaking, I can communicate the plan. I'm really good at those things. So when you know that about your sanguine person, you put them in a position to be able to do the things that they're good at. If you have a melancholy person that's more detailed, then they need to do more of the detailed things. But the sanguine personality, we have our strengths, but you just have to be able to utilize the strengths that you have in that personality and give them the actual tools to allow them to be successful. Shadana says, nope, no assistant available. Yeah, just give them the tools to help them to be successful. Um, and that is, the digital tools, the calendar tools, things of that nature, and the follow-up tools, because we really struggle in the area of follow-up. All right, you guys, that's the end of my segment tonight. I thank you guys for joining Personality Speaking, where our goal is to help you to build stronger, healthier relationships. Next week's show, let me give you a little video here. So we're going to talk about personalities as it relates to community involvement. I hope you will join me next week at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on Personality Speaking. Our goal is to help you to build healthier, stronger relationships through the understanding of the personalities. My name is Karen Ward, and I can't wait to see you next week. Take care, you guys, and be blessed.